first off, how did this get started? Where did this idea come from? Because this is spectacular. Welcome to Mornings on Main Street, Murfreesboro edition. Coming up on today's show, we learn all about seafood with Gandy Seafood Cajun Market. After that, we share all the information that you need if you'd like to head on out to SIP TN Wine Festival on May 6th. And then let's talk mouth guards for your kids and why sometimes it's important which brand you go with. We have that and more coming up.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Rub your hands, sir. You are right now?
Main Street Sports Today strives to bring you the most timely and comprehensive coverage of sports news and more from Middle Tennessee and beyond.
We cover the teams you care about from preps to pros and bring some of the most influential voices in sports to keep you in the know.
Tune into Main Street Sports Today each Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Download the Main Street Media TV app.
When you can't be in the fresh water or fish every day, what do? You have a seafood market. That's what you do. Ben Meredith with Gandy Seafood Cajun Market here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. First off, Ben, thanks so much.
Hey, thank you for being here.
You know, we're talking about seafood in general and what we can find that is fresh that we may not, again, if we're not on the water out on the coast somewhere, that we can get right here at home. What do you guys have?
So we pretty much have the gambit of Gulf and beyond seafood. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of your Gulf seafood in swordfish, tuna, redfish over there. We've got some fresh mahi. We have sheephead. We've got monkfish. We've got grouper cheeks. And then you get a little more local with rainbow trout. We've got Chilean sea bass. We also have Chilean salmon as well. And that's on our fresh fish side. And then when you want to move to shellfish, we have 6 types of shrimp. We have 3 types of Gulf shrimp up here, jumbos, mediums with the shell, peeled and deveined. You have what they call Argentina pinks right here. We would have head-on shrimp right here, but we don't do a lot of head-on shrimp in Tennessee, so we keep those guys in the back.
Gotcha.
Instead, so we've got clams out of Georgia. We've got mussels out of Prince Edward Island. We have Maine lobster claws. We have Caribbean lobster tails. We have Virginia oysters. So it's kind of a, you tell me what you're looking for and I'll just point to where it is.
When people come in and they want to try something new, but they may have a sensitive palate, I guess would be the best way to put it. They're used to say, store-bought salmon or tuna. How do you, I guess, help them move over to something a little different?
Well, it's part of it is what kind of consistency of the fish do you like? Do you like something that's lighter and flakier? You know, that's where you get your Chilean sea bass, or you get your red snapper. Or do you like something that's got more of a firm, steaky texture? That's when you get to your mahi, your amberjack, your redfish, and that sort of thing. And then if we don't have what they're looking for, I said, well, I can either have it tomorrow or the next day. So we're always doing pre-orders. Don't leave it up to what we have here, because we can get a multitude more of different types of seafood if this is just what we can fit here. So,
well, where do you get your knowledge about seafood? Where does that come from? Because again, you're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Well, it's a love of fishing. It's like you said, I wish I could live on the coast. I wish I could fish every day. I can't. There's family in Tennessee, so why not do this?
Your most popular item that you have?
Royal Reds right here. So it's a deep water shrimp. It's more of a lobster-like taste and texture. We cook more of these in-house than anything, but the shrimp we sell the most of is going to be your medium Gulf. That's your gold standard for boils and things of that nature. So it's a good size. It's got the shell on, keeps the good flavor, but when you're having to peel off the shell, it means you eat slower. It means your stomach catches up to your brain faster, tell you that you're full, and then you just don't have to have as much. So
when people come in and they're like, okay, I want to buy this, I want to get this, I want to cook this for my family, but I don't know how to season it. Do I just toss it in water? Do I throw it in the microwave? Like, how do you walk them through the best way to prepare it?
So a lot of what we have is you want to taste the fish. You don't want to overdo what you're doing to it as far as seasoning and that sort of thing. So we just say a little bit of oil, garlic, lemon, something like that, a blackening seasoning, just a Cajun seasoning, just a light dusting, because you don't want to overpower the flavor of the fish. Otherwise, you could get something frozen or a little less fresh, right? But yeah, we just say a little bit goes a long way when it comes to this type of seafood.
How do you keep it so fresh here?
We sell it. That's the best way. You know, we understand the life cycle of the fresh fish. We only put out as much outside of one fillet of salmon. That is all the fish we have. So as we're selling, we're ordering more. We don't sandbag the fish. We don't have a lot of fish in the back. This is it. And like I said, it's as I'm selling salmon, I'm ordering salmon for the next day. As I'm selling swordfish, I'm ordering swordfish for the next day.
I have to admit, maybe I just haven't been to the right spots. This is the most, I guess, fresh seafood that I've seen or come across. Where else can we get this in Tennessee?
So if you're closer to the Nashville area, there's actually another Gandy's location out in Hermitage.
Okay.
So he is essentially the same as us, a little bit smaller footprint, doesn't have the tables, but is more of a grab and go or grab your fresh seafood and go.
Now, what is the price point if you're looking for fresh fish?
We try to hit all spectrums with catfish at about $8.99 a pound, all the way up to Chilean sea bass at $37.99, or bluefin tuna will be about $39.99. So, but we try to to hit all price points.
And your most popular season when you have the most people in?
Right now, crawfish boil season. So once the weather gets a little bit warmer and the crawfish price drops, then it's crawfish and shrimp and seasonings and sausage. It all kind of goes together. And then when we can get blue crab, right now it's a struggle to get live blue crab in, but when we get blue crab in, it also helps as well. So
very nice. Are you open to people coming to you to ask questions so they can gain more knowledge about fresh seafood?
Oh yeah. What I tell people is you can message us anytime on Facebook. I'm this close to just giving out my cell phone number to people. Just I'll do anything to sell anything I can is what I tell them. And so we're closed Sunday and Monday, but I tell people that if you're looking for something or you have a seafood emergency, just message me on Facebook. I come up here once a day. I can sell you anything that's not cooked. You know, we're open to any questions. Anything seafood related. If we don't have it, I'll do anything I can to find it.
That's absolutely wonderful. Ben Meredith, once again, thank you so much for all of that. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you feel would help people out?
Don't be scared. You know, it's a little intimidating. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's so much better than getting something previously frozen or that's in a bag. We can show you how to do it. We can cook it for you, right? If you don't want to go home and cook it, you just tell us, what type of fish it is, how big a piece you'd like, and we can have it ready for you on the way home, and or you can enjoy it here. So.
Very nice. We're going to have to become best friends, Ben, I think. So again, Gandy's Seafood Cajun Market, this one here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The other one more time? Hermitage, Tennessee as well. Stick with us here. We have a lot more coming up right after this.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between. Discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
there is nothing better than drinking an ice-cold beverage while taking in a Nashville Sounds baseball game. Hi, I'm Stefanie Miller with Mornings on Main Street. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television have teamed up to promote Sunday Family Fun Day here at First Horizon Park, each Sunday home game. Just go to your favorite Main Street Media website and click on Sounds Main Street Media Day banner to register to win free tickets. And then we'll see you here at the ballpark. We all have the chance to explore wines made right here in the beautiful state of Tennessee. I have some fun facts coming up for you because I don't know if anyone out there knows this, but we have 78 wineries in the state of Tennessee. There's an upcoming Sip Wine Festival that's happening on May 6th, and we get to learn all about it today from Laura Swanson. She is with the Tennessee Farm Wine Growers Alliance. Laura, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, heavens, yes, of course. I didn't realize, first off, 78 wineries in our state. Like, that blows my mind. I had no idea.
Yes, 78 wineries. It is amazing. And just over the past few years, that number has grown exponentially. In fact, around 2009, we only had about 20 wineries in the state. So you can see how much that is growing just every year.
Well, you know, there is going to be a day that we're going to talk and expand on those wineries and what we can explore through Tennessee. But first off, we have one spot that we can stop at in Nashville on the 6th and taste a number of our wines from the state. Is that correct?
That is right. So on May 6th at Nashville Shores, there will be 16 wineries will be at the Sip Tennessee Nashville Wine Festival. There'll be other curated vendors there as well. So people can come and not just sip wine, but they can buy wine. They can visit with other vendors. They can have food. But of course, the highlight of the event is the wine itself.
Now, this is the third event like this that you guys have put on as the Tennessee Farm Wine Growers Alliance, but that's not all. There's going to be more throughout the year, right?
Yeah, so it's the third of 2023.
Gotcha.
The first one started in April in Chattanooga. April 15th was near Knoxville in Friendsville. June 17th, we'll be back in Knoxville. And then in November, we will be in Memphis.
What fun. How long does this event go? Is it like an all-day thing?
It is 12 to 5. So it's primarily during the day, but you could come after lunch, enjoy the wine, and then stay and have dinner with some of the food vendors that are available.
I love that. So when people go out there, like, what would you say, like, what makes Tennessee wine special? Again, I feel like most people are pretty well versed on California wines, but what makes us so special and unique?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for asking me that, because I love telling people about what makes Tennessee wine special. So Tennessee is home to about 35 different varieties of grapes that are planted here. Most all of our wineries in Tennessee use Tennessee grown grapes. There are a few instances where a California grape is needed because a winery will want a very rich dry wine. But in Tennessee, a lot of people think that we're known for sweet wines. Everything we produce is muscadine, but that is not the case at all. The Chambourcin grape is a dry red grape. A lot of the wineries do produce a Chambourcin wine. It's just absolutely delicious. We have everything from sweet white to dry red. If you are a fan of Riesling, you should try Tennessee Traminette. There are just countless possibilities across the state of the way our wineries blend both the native grown grapes that are here along with some others, for example, some California or Oregon grapes.
No kidding. Well, I would love to try all of those. And I do have to say, I've hit 2 wineries in the past, I'd say 5 days. One is Picker Creek Winery.
Pickers Creek, yes. It is south of Nashville, there in Lewisburg.
Yes, and then Big Creek Winery in Pulaski.
Yes, and Big Creek is actually just about to open up a new tasting room in Lawrenceburg.
You are correct. He did share that with me. Yeah. And then, of course, being in Clarksville, we have Beach Haven. The Sip the tasting that we have in Nashville, will we have some of those wines there, or is it solely the wineries in Nashville, or I guess
no, the wineries in Nashville at the Sip 10 event they're from all over the state, everywhere from West Tennessee all the way west as far as Jackson. And what makes this event unique is not only can people come and sample wine from all over the state, but more often than not, the person who is pouring your wine or allowing you to sample the wine is more often than not also the winemaker. So if you have a question about the wine that you're tasting, you can ask the person who made it. Most of the wineries in Tennessee are very small, and they just perform, all the duties, whatever's needed. And so I love that about our events, because some other large wine festivals in Tennessee, it is just a person pouring wine. They only know what the card in front of them says. Whereas the Sip 10 events, like the one in Nashville on May 6th, it really gives you the opportunity to talk to the person who made it, the person who has poured their heart, soul, and a lot of money into making sure that they have a good quality product for people to love.
And when you go out there for the Sip 10 Festival, be sure to talk with them. They have stories, great stories to share, when you actually take the time to sit and talk about the wineries that these owners are representing. So Laura, thank you for encouraging us to do that, encouraging us to get to the event on May 6th, 12 to 5. And the address for you, do you have the address right offhand? I have it right here. 4001 Bell Road.
Yes, 4001 Bell Road in Hermitage.
Yeah, well, get out and have fun. And Laura, the next time we see you, we're going to learn the beginning of Tennessee Farm Wine Growers Alliance, what makes it special, and what you're helping us do by us going to your website and visiting all of the other festivals. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for your time.
I can't wait to talk to you again. And for everyone else, stick here because we have more coming up after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
I'm so excited about this new show.
Dino Trek is back again this year. It's bigger than we've ever had it before.
When they're about 5 months old, we'll start to see them sticking their head out of the pouch, or you might see a foot come out or a tail.
It's like an Airbnb for Joey's. Now, you're not going to see all three of them together because cats in general don't get along unless it's time to get along, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh, my.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way there. Animals, nature, and fun. That's what we're all about. But during that time, we hope that you also learn something, that you're inspired to want to learn something.
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bar 2.
Catch At the Zoo exclusively on Main Street Media TV. Check our on-screen TV guide for days and times.
Who wouldn't love a stuffed booster? I know I sure would, or any sort of sound swag, all of which can be found at Nashville Sounds Pro Shop. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television would love to invite you out to Sunday Family Fun Day, each Sunday home game. You can also register to win free tickets by going to your favorite Main Street Media website. Register to win, and then we'll see you here at the ballpark. Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Well, April is Youth Sports Safety Month. So today we are talking about mouth guards and youth sports. We have Dr. Phil Wenk with us back once again. He is the CEO of Delta Dental of Tennessee. First off, Dr. Wenk, thank you so much for joining us again.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am fantastic today. What about yourself?
I am really good. Thank you.
Well, this is a good topic. You have a lot of kids that do play sports. They're in athletics out there. So why is a mouth safety guard? Why is that so important to us?
Well, think about it like this. It takes you about 6 years to grow in your first set of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It might take about 2 seconds to knock one of those teeth out. And those teeth that are in there, people say, well, they're just baby teeth. Understand that baby teeth are in there for two purposes. Most important purpose, obviously, for eating, but the other thing is to hold the space open till the next set comes in, what we call the permanent teeth. And the permanent teeth are going to be bigger than the original set. Now, a lot of young people who play sports are at transitional, so they've gotten in maybe their top 4 permanent teeth and their bottom 4 permanent teeth. Remember, we talked about, well, you get that baby tooth knocked out and they're 5 years old, no big deal. Yeah, maybe not, but you get that permanent tooth knocked out at 8 years old, now you got a problem. So therein lies the reason that you wear a mouthpiece. If you're going to play sports, and you're going to play any sports, and this includes especially contact sports, but really any sport, you really should wear a mouth guard. You'd be surprised how often, as an example, if you're playing volleyball, pretty non-contact sport, imagine jumping up, you don't have a mouth guard in, and your tongue winds up between your 2 teeth. You can have a fairly severe bite that goes right through your tongue. So understand, it's more than just keeping teeth from getting knocked out. It's other safety items. That young people who do karate or taekwondo or any of the contacts like that, understand one of the most common places to be hit is on your chin. If you get hit on your chin and you don't have a mouth guard in, you may well break teeth off.
Oh.
So understand, there's a lot of reasons to wear mouth guards.
Oh, I hear that. So say you do have a child that's had either a tooth chipped or one knocked out. How quickly should they get to you to get to a dentist?
Well, I think let's separate those two if you don't mind, Stephanie, because it is important to separate them. A chipped tooth, so it's the enamel is fractured off the tooth. So imagine a square shape of the tooth and you broke a corner off, which is the most common thing that happens. You get a corner broken off. The one thing I would tell you is that will be very sensitive for a little while. And it may be a week, it may be a day, it may be a couple of months, depending upon how bad the fracture is. Unfortunately, the way teeth are made, you can't regrow that. It does not regrow. Enamel never grows. Contrary to what it says on advertisements on television, enamel doesn't regrow. You recalcify certain parts of it, but you don't ever regrow it. So whatever you fractured off is going to have to be restored by a dentist. And that will require, depending on how bad the fracture is, it could require just as simple as a filling. Mm-hmm. But you can also fracture the tooth so severely that it actually goes through the enamel part of the tooth into the root and actually exposes the nerve. If it does that, then you have to have a root canal, and hopefully you can keep the tooth in place. And then you have to have the restoration put on it. So the reason I wanted to separate those, because that's very significant to understand the situation just with a fractured tooth. Okay. Now, if you fracture a tooth and you look at the young person and you look inside their mouths and you see that tooth's got red coming out of it, that means you've opened up the center part of the tooth, which is called the pulp, and that pulp contains the nerve and blood vessels in the tooth. I would tell you, if that gets exposed, you're probably going to have a root canal done on that child's tooth just to keep it in place. So then let's talk about breaking one out, knocking one out. Mm-hmm. Avulsion, that's what they call it, an avulsion. It means it's been the entire tooth, the root and all comes out. And that does happen, especially in young people, because the bone's really soft. And if they get hit just right, it'll just blow it out. Mm-hmm. That sometimes can be placed back into the socket where it came from. But I would tell you, what you want to do is, as soon as you see that happen, look at the tooth. And I would tell you, if you see anything like this, or you see even the tooth fractured, I'd go ahead and be calling the dentist office as fast as I could. Okay. But if you avulse the entire tooth, sometimes if you put the tooth in, if you've got good clean water, you can use in a good place to put it in and seal it up. You put the tooth inside there. Don't scrub on it. Don't rub at it. Don't do anything. Just drop it in there. If you happen to have a possibility of having milk available, it's better to put it in milk than it actually is in water. So put it in the milk and then take it to the dentist's office. And sometimes if the young person's, the level of the bone calcification hasn't exceeded it, and so the tooth is unstable in there, quite often the dentist can reinsert the tooth, and sometimes they will bond it from one tooth to the other to just hold it in place. And a lot of times it'll just recalcify right back around it.
No kidding.
That's a possibility, and it happens more than you think. That's pretty successful. I would tell you the younger a child is, that when this happens, the more successful they typically are. If you were to evulse a 12-year-old's tooth or a 15-year-old's tooth, it probably is never going to be retained. And I would like to separate mouth guards if we could.
Please, that was going to be my next question.
Okay, well, mouth guards are made in two different types. The type that we give away, and we give away about 100,000 a year, are just for young kids. They're for the kids that are just starting playing sports, soccer and football and baseball and softball and those sort of things. They're easy, what we call bull and bite. You put them in warm water, you put them in the mouth, and then you close down on them, and that creates kind of a seal around the tooth, and it'll stay in place, and then they're relatively safe. Once you get into like high school sports and really heavy contact, and certainly in college age sports, I would tell you, you need a mouth guard that's made specifically for that. They're denser. They're designed to be bigger shock absorber, and that's the really critical mass. But if you're talking about a 6-year-old, that's a simple mouth guard. If you're talking about a 16-year-old, that one needs to be made by a dentist. Those require very special designs, and they will do far more than that small one's designed to do, but also the impact. If you can imagine a 16 or 17-year-old soccer player that gets hit in the mouth with a soccer ball, or gets kicked in the mouth, which does happen occasionally, believe it or not. You want something that can really absorb shock.
Okay. And I remember playing soccer, and it hurts like the dickens. So thank you for that. Is there any other piece of information that you need to share with us before we let you go?
Well, I think in this area, so that we know, if your young person plays on any sport teams, we provide the mouth guards that I talked about, for the young people. We provide those for free for a whole lot of sports organizations in the area. So if you're with an organized soccer team or football team or baseball team, they will have access to the mouth guards that we create, that we purchase and give away free. We would never want to assume that a young person who couldn't afford a $5 mouth guard would not have that. And so for that purpose, we have done that as kind of in cooperation with the Preds and the Titans and the Music City Ball.
That is so very nice. Dr. Wenk, again, thank you so much. So again, April is Youth Sports Safety Awareness Month. So hopefully some of these tips will help you guys out there. Dr. Phil Wenk with us from Delta Dental. He's the CEO of Delta Dental of Tennessee. Thank you, sir. And we look forward to the next time.
And the same to you.
Thank you.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TFWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy Wham married the best looking girl Bananarama, so other guy Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast